It's me, it's the R-O double B, mobbing once again with the two coolest dudes in the room right here on an NXT special edition perched on the top rope.
Welcome, everyone, to Perched on the Top Rope. That's right. I am the DSH, the Dirt Sheet Hater, Lee Walker, and above,
the adorable one, Alex Todd.
Well, we have NXT TakeOver 36 coming up on Sunday. A little switch because usually NXT follows the WWE pay-per-view, but we're seeing a little flop here. I think it's cool. It's going to be a little different, a little interesting. Smaller card. We only have 5 matches. Al, break it down.
All right. So starting off for the NXT Women's Championship, we're going to go with Raquel Gonzalez versus Dakota Kai. The two former best friends turned brutal enemies. Not the first time Dakota Kai has turned her back on one of her best friends. We've seen it in the past before with Tegan Nox. Is this Dakota Kai's time, or does Raquel Gonzalez stay NXT Women's Champion, guys?
I'm going to go that she stays NXT Champion.
Yeah. Okay, Lee, what do you think?
I'm torn because they've done this for so long with Dakota that if it doesn't happen, then she's not gonna really hit a peak in WWE, in my opinion. But Raquel is also like bigger, stronger, faster, looks more athletic, looks more of the type Vince would want as a champion. So I'm torn. So I'm going to flip a coin.
Okay, that's one way to do it. All right, who's heads?
Heads, it's Raquel. Tails, it's Dakota.
Okay.
Have a flip a coin there, kid?
No. Raquel is who I'm going with.
All right, I guess that's going to make me the odd man out. I have always been a huge Dakota Kai fan. Even before her heel turn, I don't know, something about her. She's got charisma to me. I think she's got a way, whether she's a heel or a face, that she can relate with the fans. And because of that, I am going to say that now is Dakota Kai's time, and she walks out with the NXT Women's Championship.
If they're going to bring Raquel up to one of the main brands, then I can see Dakota winning the title. And if she does win the title, that's probably the writing on the wall.
Absolutely.
I just don't see them bringing her up, though. Too soon.
Well, it's never stopped Vince before.
True. I don't know if you remember. I think Braun Strowman was on like one episode of NXT before he went up to the main roster.
I think this... One funny thing about this show is I think this NXT is going to see more call-ups than we're anticipating.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm going to agree because I think Vince wants to go back to the idea of NXT being that place that gets people ready for the main roster. And I think part of that could actually be a good thing because we've seen now for a long time that we don't get those NXT call-ups that we used to get anymore because they had turned it more so into a third brand. That's one thing I am somewhat looking forward to with them kind of going back to Vince's idea of NXT. Because let's be honest, it's not going to be him completely taking over booking. Hunter's still going to have a big, influence in the booking of the brand. I think it's going to be more of Vince wants it to be a show to prepare people for the main roster. And I think you're going to see people like Raquel Gonzalez get moved up. I wouldn't be surprised if after plenty of time in NXT, you see guys like Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa come up too, even if they're just only in the mid card. I think you're going to see a lot of call-ups coming soon because that was what Vince wanted out of NXT to begin with. But that's where this match sits with me, in my opinion. Raquel Gonzalez is going to the main roster. Dakota Kai walks away with the title. That being said, we have another championship match. We have Ilya Druggenoff versus Walter for the NXT UK Championship. This is going to be a good one.
I assume most fans in the States are like myself and probably don't watch NXT UK on Thursdays afternoon because, we're generally all at work. I just got exposed to him recently. I admit I never even saw their first match. I look at the size of Walter and I look at this Russian kid. I don't like either one of their faces, but I want to see Walter slap the hell out of this man's chest.
I mean, win or loss, he's going to. You know that.
That's all I want to see. But they've been building up Walter's reign recently. I've seen, especially on the internet and stuff like that. It kind of leads me to believe that his reign is coming to an end. So I'm going to go with the Russian kid. But I just want Walter to slap the shit out of him.
Oh, he's going to. I don't think it's time for Walter to lose the title yet. I don't know why. I think Ilya Druggenoff could be the guy to do it. I don't think it's right now. I think there hasn't been enough storyline attention, specifically in regular NXT, to build up to a regular NXT pay-per-view for him to lose the title. So I'm going to go with Walter on this one.
I'll go with Walter as well, only because I've always had a problem with a particular type of title. For example, in this case, we're talking about the NXT UK title being put on someone who's not from the UK. You don't have a Russian be the United States champion. You don't have a Russian be the UK champion. You have a person from the UK be the UK champion.
That's fair.
Okay.
You know who I'd love to see, just a quick side note, very quick one. I would love to see eventually a match for the NXT UK title between Walter and Cesaro. I think that would absolutely tear the house down.
I think fans would go nuts watch Cesaro do the Cesaro swing on
The
him.
swing.
On
Yeah.
that big of a man. Yeah, no, it'd be insane. Yeah, that's it. Just wanted to throw that out there. But next match we have is LA Knight, the former Eli Drake, taking on Cameron Grimes with Ted DiBiase in his corner in a singles match for the $1 Million Championship. And if Grimes loses, Ted DiBiase must become LA Knight's butler. We already have Cameron Grimes playing the butler role for LA Knight, but if he loses, Ted DiBiase, the legend, the $1 Million Man, becomes LA Knight's butler.
I don't see how that happens.
I almost want to call Virgil and get his opinion on this match.
He'd probably just try and show us his junk.
No, he would probably try and sell us an 8x10, but that's besides the point. It would be interesting, though, to see Ted DiBiase in Virgil's role, essentially.
You have Virgil come back and do one of those paybacks a bitch and almost cost Cameron Grimes the title, forcing Ted DiBiase to become his butler.
God, what if they did that? What if we saw the return of Virgil on Sunday night?
I mean, it would probably only cost $500 out of the budget, and you'd have to give him a $500 Olive Garden gift card so he could get that meat sauce. But that, other than that, why not? Why not make it fun? And if NXT really is the minor leagues, who screams minor leagues more than Virgil?
Oh, rough. Oh my God, yo, there's so many people that be like, oh man, there's that 30-year payoff to that storyline.
Virgil will be there that night. He will be, in fact, outside the building selling 8x10s.
Guys,
there you go.
WrestleMania 38.
So he will already be there.
WrestleMania 38, the rematch fans have been waiting for forever. Ted DiBiase versus Virgil.
Oh my God.
No. That would be kind of cool to see that. I don't think Cameron Grimes is losing this match. I think this is going to be his shining moment. However, I think this is one of those matches where it's going to be entertaining no matter who wins or loses. This is the most fun match, I think, in my opinion, in the card, because LA Knight wins and we don't know what to expect from Ted DiBiase being his butler. Cameron Grimes wins, this crazy popular taking over the world to the moon superstar is $1 Million Champion. He's going to milk every second of it on TV. So I think this is going to be an entertaining one, no matter who wins. However, I'm going with Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, I'm going with Cameron Grimes, unless we get Virgil. So if anybody is going to watch this before this airs, before NXT goes live on pay-per-view, get Virgil in the building and let's get that retribution.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got to go with Cameron, even though I do think it would be interesting to see $1 Million Man become the modern day Virgil.
It'd be great. The $1 Million Butler. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to move on to the NXT Championship match next, only because I don't think this is going to be the main event of the show. I don't think anybody does. So we're going to go with Karrion Kross versus Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship.
Hands down, Samoa Joe. If we haven't seen the writing on the wall already, Karrion Kross is headed to Monday Night Raw. And they obviously don't want Samoa Joe on the main roster. So therefore, Joe wins the title. Karrion goes up to Monday Night Raw. And hopefully sooner rather than later, we see my girlfriend in the background there on Monday Night Raw where she belongs.
Hell yeah. Lee, what do you think?
I like how Rob just like throws it in there like it's no big deal. Yeah, they clearly don't want him on the main roster.
Well, they fired him. I mean,
right.
They fired him, and the only person who brought him back was Triple H to be on that minor league roster, if you will, for a handsome paycheck. But I mean, facts are facts. Karrion Kross has been on Monday Night Raw every single week. He's been fighting the phenomenal Jeff Hardy and the phenomenal Keith Lee 868 times. Just depends on who draws low straw each week. So therefore, he's got to go to the main roster so that he could get his 856th match against Jeff Hardy and Keith Lee next Monday night live on Raw in that bathroom break kind of a match.
When the man's right, he's right.
I mean, I am going with Samoa Joe because as he said, the writing's on the wall that Kross is 100% and getting called up. He's already been working both NXT and on the main roster. But Rob, where does that leave Scarlett?
With him?
Well, my hope is that she brings, and I've said this, I think it was on a show with Alex. My hope is that he goes through like a spell and she's the one that has to bring him out of it. And you know, she's going to be the reason that he's going to go on this massive streak where he's just going to start destroying people. And it was the fact that she wasn't with him all this time, the reason why he's been relegated to that 9 to 9:10 Monday Night Raw spot where he fights the same Keith Lee and Jeff Hardy. And once she shows up, he'll get better matches. He'll advance to 9:30.
Here.
All right.
I'm also going to go with Samoa Joe for the not as obvious reasons. We've seen a lot of backstage altercations with Samoa Joe. Not altercations, but stare downs with multiple guys that Samoa Joe could be feuding with in the future. We've seen him stare down Johnny Gargano. We've seen him stare down Pete Dunne. He's had physical altercations with Adam Cole. That's three people right there that are lined up. If they put Samoa Joe in the NXT Championship together, there's three people right in a row that he could defend the title against. And the little talked about fact coming into this match that if Samoa Joe wins this match, he makes history with the most NXT title reigns. He goes to 3 NXT title reigns if he wins this Sunday. That's more than anybody in history so far in the history of NXT. So yeah, my money's on Samoa Joe.
Well, I also don't want to jump ahead, but I feel that Samoa Joe has a history also with Kyle O'Reilly back from his Ring of Honor time and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I feel that, you know, like I said, not to jump ahead, but my guess is going to be Kyle O'Reilly in the what should be the main event, 2 out of 3 falls with Adam Cole. And that would set up an awesome feud between Samoa Joe and Kyle O'Reilly as well.
Absolutely. And speaking of which, we move on to the what is most likely going to be the main event of the show, we've got Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole in a 2 out of 3 falls match. The first to fall is just a traditional wrestling match. The second fall is a street fight, and if necessary, fall number 3 goes to a steel cage. Boys,
well, we all know if the cage, when they start the pay-per-view, if the cage is suspended above the ring, we know we're going 2 out of 3 falls. We're going all 3 falls, rather. And this sadly is yet another one of the call-ups that I see happening to the main roster, because it was one of the main signing reasons why Adam Cole went back to WWE for $1 million a year. And it was because he was promised a spot on the main roster. It was because he was promised a feud initially with Shinsuke Nakamura. And it is also promised that he is going to start with an Intercontinental title run. So therefore, for obvious reasons, I'm going to go with Kyle O'Reilly, and Alex Cole will be up on the main roster. Adam Cole.
Alex Cole.
I got Alex on the brain, and I said Adam Cole.
That's okay. I forgive you. Yeah, I think Kyle O'Reilly wins this one. I think it's going to a steel cage. Rarely do we get a 2 out of 3 falls match and it doesn't go to the third fall. I also believe that Adam Cole. Been one? I don't know. I don't have that kind of time to look into that, though. Maybe. I don't know. But I think Kyle O'Reilly cements his place in NXT history with this win. I could also see him, while Smojo is feuding with other people, moving on to like a mini feud with Roderick Strong. In the meantime, I do see him going into the NXT title picture down the road. And I do see him beating Adam Cole. I see Adam Cole going to the main roster and beating Shinsuke Nakamura at some point for the Intercontinental Championship as well.
I'm just going to agree with all of you because it just sounds too good to be true type deal. Mm-hmm. Sounds too good. Kyle O'Reilly
for it not to be true.
Yeah. Kyle O'Reilly wins and becomes the new NXT Adam Cole. There it is.
There it is. It's going to be a fun pay-per-view, guys.
I'm excited just to get to see Scarlett. So once that comes, I'll be done. Very true. Very true.
Oh God.
That's why I hope they. That's why I hope they put a throwaway match in the middle of that and the Kyle O'Reilly match, because I'll be finished.
Rob Hochman, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be back again next week, and I tell you what. You know what we're gonna do next week? Everyone in the world, everyone within listening distance of this show, should tune in to Perched on the Top Rope next week, because we're going to make an announcement for Perched on the Top Rope that is going to be, dare I say, iconic. But I won't say anything until next week.
Dang. In the meantime, guys, between now and next week, if you'd like to find us on social media, you can find us at Perched on the Top Rope on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Perched Top Rope, and anywhere where you listen to podcasts, you can search Perched on the Top Rope and you will find this show. But as Rob was saying, next week's show is going to be iconic, but we can't say any more.
And spoiler free is the way to be.
We're out.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching that video. If you liked what you saw, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you hit subscribe so you can get all our content here at Perched on the Top Rope. And fans, remember, spoiler free's the way to be. I'm out.